Hi guys, welcome to today's SetrocJC channel daily video. As usual, if you enjoy the content, please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below. Now strap yourselves in, let's get on with today's daily topic. This week's alternative news part 7. Yeah, I've come up with some more alternative news for the week, so strap yourselves in, let's get cracking. First story, my old mate, old Richard Branson. Dickie Branston's on the case, isn't he? Branston's blaze hit mansion rebuilt. Apparently, a couple of years back, one of his houses on a Caribbean island burnt down, destroyed by fire. But now it's all fixed up. Branson sorted it out. He's got his wallet out and he paid some people to rebuild it. And now it's ready to welcome its first guests. Oh, Richard, I didn't know you cared. I'll come and stay in your mansion. So it said here, Oscar-winning actress Kate Winslet had to carry Sir Richard's 90-year-old mother Eve to safety when flames tore through the great house on Necker Island in August 2011. Oh, Winslet saved his mum here. That means she's going to get free entry to his house and play. I bet she ain't paying for no flights anymore, is she? I wonder if she'll be on that shuttle that goes into space in a few months' time. No, I wouldn't go on that one, Kate, anyway. And if all ends in disaster, it'd be a bit ironic, wouldn't it? The star of Titanic was the first person to go down in this shuttle of his on the maiden voyage. That'd be a headline and a half. Anyway, let's not tempt fate and talk about that. Anyway, now the house which Sir Richard lets out. Why has he let it out? Is he short of money still? This bloke's loaded, isn't he? He's been remodelled on the original design. Couldn't even be bothered to change the way it looked or nothing. With some new innovations and a 1,500 square metre master suite. So he's like renting it out to people. Those that can afford it can stay at the house for a nightly rate of 37.5 grand. The house can take up to 30 adults plus 6 children. Oh, that's alright then. 30 adults. Bloody hell. That's not bad, guys. It's £1,000 each. Why 37.5? Just make it a whole number. Make it 38. It's not like people are going to say, oh, I'm not going to pay 38. I'll pay 37.5, but I'm not paying 38. I don't think it really matters when you're talking them sort of numbers, does it? The bloke's always cashing in, isn't he? He's basically bought this mansion, or he's had it built, and he's going to rent it out for a ridiculous nightly rate. What the hell do you get for that? I want about 50 of them Virgin Galactic air stewardesses staying there, and I'm staying there if I'm going to flipping pay that much. I want my money's worth out of this bloody gig. I wouldn't be going to bloody sleep, that's for sure. Sir Richard said, Necker Island has been my home for more than 30 years. Oh, that's the island he owns, is it? Why does he call it Necker? And for me, it's the most beautiful place in the world. Bloody should be for that money, shouldn't it? 37.5 grand a night. The brand new great house at the heart of the island, and I'm thrilled with the results. This signals a new dawn for Necker, which I'm very excited about. Always cashing in. Why don't he let it out for free? He should let it out for people like you, me and bloody everyone else who flipping can't afford posh holidays, can't afford flaming luxury. He should be letting us stay there for nothing. He should have like a raffle. Mind you wouldn't let a scout, the chavs there, would you reckon it? Old Dickie Branson don't want the flipping wine all over his carpets, does he? I bet he's paid a fortune on furniture and stuff. Don't want to let her vomit on his posh veneers or anything. I'll tell you what, the people staying there are personally funding that spaceship, aren't they, that he's making? They're flipping paying that for getting to blinking orbit, aren't they, that money? Anyway, so there's the first story. Richard Branson's house has been rebuilt, and the likes of you and me can't get anywhere near it. Richard, if you are listening and you feel like letting me stay there a few nights, I can't afford 37.5 grand. I afford 37.5 pence or something like that, so if you are listening to this, give me a ring, drop me a line, send me an email, it's in the thumbnail. Okay, the next story. Norwegian dentist extracts own wisdom tooth. So I come across this one earlier. It's basically a video. I haven't watched it because I'm a bit squeamish about these things, but I think you get the gist from the title. This woman, dentist, apparently in Norway, she went up to her boss and basically said to him, oh, do you mind taking my tooth out? And her boss said, no, do it yourself. So she went and got a pair of bloody pliers or whatever they use in the dentist, went in front of a mirror, put the bloody video camera on, and she's pulling the bloody thing out. How mental do you have to be to do that? Even if you are a dentist, I'm sure they still feel pain, and they're good at dishing it out, aren't they, dentists? But I'm sure they feel it as well. How flipping desperate must you need to be to do that? I don't know what she's playing at though. Everyone knows that the best way to get a tooth out is to tie a bit of string around it and tie it to the bloody door and slam it, don't they? Who flipping? Has anyone ever actually used that technique? That's the sort of thing you hear when you're growing up, isn't it? I wonder if anyone's ever used it. Surely that's never going to work, is it? Your head's just going to be pulled along and you're going to smack your head on the door, surely. Why didn't she try that first? That would have made a better video than seeing her pulling her own flipping tooth out. Flipping, she must be a right nutcase. If she was my dentist, I wouldn't be going back, that's for sure. She might think, oh, I'm not going to bother giving you any pain. If don't hurt that much, anyway, I've done it myself. Anyway, next headline. National Grid warns of winter blackout risk. And this is for people in the UK. If you're not from the UK, I bet you don't have this sort of problem. But in the UK, we love a bit of scaremongering before winter. They love trying to make us not use so much electric. Anyway, yeah, well, the government does. The flaming electrical companies, they want you to use as much as you can. They always hike up the price before winter, don't they? Electric companies. They're not stupid. They know you use more in the winter. Anyway, apparently, because there's more use, there's more peak demand at the moment, apparently, since the winter of 2007-2008. I love it when they have facts like that. The winter of 7 and 8. It's like, I can't remember what the winter was like last year, let alone in 7 and 8. That's like 6-7 years ago. Who can remember what the blimmin' weather was like then? I can't flipping remember, that's for sure. The amount of electric in the grid might be reduced, so we could have blackouts this winter. I don't know what we're supposed to do with this information. All I'm going to do with this information is cross my fingers and hope it don't happen, because I'm not prepared for it. I got candles, so I got mobile phone anyway. It's got a torch on it. I'll be alright. As long as I can find my way to my bed. That's all I'll be worried about if we have a blackout. It'll be an early night. Happy days. Surely what with all solar panels and things like that, surely there should be more electric in the grid. You can't, every other house has got solar panels on now in the UK, and my neighbour's got a lot of solar panels. Bloody eyesore they are. The first time he got them, he said to me, oh yeah, these look alright, didn't they? I thought, no, they bloody don't. They look flipping horrible. They make my house look cheaper as well. You better not lower the value of my house with your shiny panels on your roof. But anyway, I keep getting told how much money he's saving. I don't really bloody care how much money he's saving, to be honest. How much money he's putting back into the grid. Well, he obviously ain't putting that much money back in the grid, because we might be having blackouts this winter. Next story. Why do people make bold predictions of doom? That's the headline. Apparently Geldof's at it now. Old Bob Geldof. He's normally saving the planet, isn't he? Now he's giving us predictions of doom. Apparently he reckons that the human race might have as little as 17 more years before a mass extinction event. Why 17 years? Where did he come up with that from? Why do people love to have these predictions of doom on the earth all the time, or the world? They got nothing better to do with their time. Why don't they worry about living their lives and making the most of the time they got on the earth rather than predicting its demise? And these are people that got millions of quid in the bank. Go spend your money, Bob. Go flipping enjoy yourself. Go on holiday. Go stay in Branson's mansion or something for 37.5 grand a night. Go stay there for a couple of weeks. You can afford it. You might stop predicting the end of the world when you come back. Chill out a bit. Have a chill pill, Bob. And I've said this before, if the world is going to end, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know that next Tuesday the world's going to end or something like that. I've got better things to do. I've got plans to make. I might want to go out Wednesday. I might cancel my Wednesday plans all for no reason because of Geldof and his scaremongering. Every other week there's someone telling us that we're all going to be gone in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, isn't it? Apparently it says here that the Jehovah's Witnesses are the best at it. They've been accused of having made predictions for the world's end in 1878, 1881, 1914, 1980, 1925 and more recently 1975. They haven't done any for a while though. They've gone back into their shells now, haven't they? They're too busy knocking on doors to make predictions anymore, aren't they, the old Jehovah's is? I had a mate who used to be a Jehovah's Witness. He used to spend his weekends knocking on doors. One week he asked me if I wanted to come. No chance of that. I ain't flipping doing that. I thought to myself, do you not know me? Have you not spent enough time in my company to know that that's not really my bag? I know what people are thinking. I've been on the other end of that door. I know what they're thinking when you knock on it. They're thinking, how can I get rid of this person without being really rude and having throw eggs at my house tomorrow night? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, how can I flipping get rid of this bloke who's just been harping on, or this woman? There's a woman last time they knocked on my door. First thing she said to me is something like, do you know when the end of the world's coming or something like that? I thought, bloody hell, one minute I'm eating my dinner, the next minute you're questioning me on the end of the world and whether I'm going to go to heaven and stuff. It's like, calm down, dear. It's like, calm down. Bloody Michael Winner, he's dead, isn't he? Old Winner, never mind. Rest in peace, Winner. Use one of your gags then. Anyway, I was thinking to myself, one minute I'm eating my fish and chips, the next minute she's asking me deep and meaningful flipping questions. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest, in the last 15 minutes. I'm trying to watch telly here. Go flipping knock on someone else's door and annoy them. Where do they live, these people? We should find out where they live. And about 50 of us, 100 of us, and every half an hour someone different should knock on their door and start questioning them about what they're doing and what their belief mechanisms are. That'll sort them out, won't it? Don't be mean to them, though. Let's not harass these people other than knocking on their doors like they do us. Don't be mean to them, though. Yeah, so apparently we could be in trouble in 17 years according to Geldof, but looking at this picture of Geldof now, the bloke isn't ageing well. He looks like a mad scientist, and his eyes make him look like he hasn't slept for about 6 months. So, Bob, you look like you're too busy worrying about the end of the world. Go see Branson, he'll sort you out for a couple of cheap nights in his flipping hotel, in his mansion. Don't worry about it. I don't think he's got 17 years left. Maybe that's what he's getting at with this flipping article. He hasn't been in the public eye for a while, so he's coming out with these predictions of doom to get in the newspapers. Anyway, you won't be catching me promoting it. Next story. 10 things we didn't know last week. So they've come out with 10 things that apparently we didn't know last week. That's a big word, isn't it? We. I'm not going to read them all out because some of them are bloody boring, but the second one on the list, people pour more white wine into a glass than red. Maybe that's because red wine looks like blood or something. I always do that. I always pour more white than red. It's like when you sat at a dinner table and you were the first one to reach for the wine, aren't you? And there's about 60 around this table, 3 men, 3 women. I always give the women less wine. I don't know why, it's just a psychological thing. I always think, the men should have more wine than the women, so I always give them a bit less. I wonder if they ever notice that. It's not a sexist thing or anything like that, but I think alcohol should be saved for the men. Just something I do subconsciously, I think. Saving the wine for myself. Another one on the 10 things I didn't know yesterday or something. A man can be sent to prison for being gay in 3/4 of Commonwealth countries. That's quite a few, isn't it? 3/4 of them still bang you up for being a bender. How do they get away with that? There's nothing wrong with being gay, is there? I'm not gay, by the way. I don't know why I had to say that straight away, but you always feel like you have to say that, don't you, when you're promoting gayness or homosexuality, isn't it? You always feel like the first thing you have to say is, I'm not one of them, but there's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, I don't think you should just be sent to prison for it anyway, should you? Imagine if you're in one of them countries where the prisons must just be full of gay people. It must be a nightmare for a straight person. But you have to watch your back a lot more, that's for sure, in them countries. I love a good shower. I love a good soak in the shower, but I don't think I'd be lingering around too long in them countries in prison, would you? You'd be in and out. One thing's for sure, if you're not in and out, someone else would be bloody in and out of you, wouldn't they? So, today's last article. The 5 biggest unanswered questions. I reckon we could sort these out. If you know the answer to any of these questions, drop me an email. Then I can take credit for it. Number 1. What is the nature of the dark universe? What is the dark universe? I've no idea what the dark universe is. I'm not even too sure what the bloody universe is. The universe is everything, isn't it? I know that He-Man's the master of the universe. So what's the dark universe? They're watching too much Star Trek, haven't they? They've been trekking too much. Question number 2. What is time? Everyone knows what time is. You learn that at primary school. I don't know what sort of time they mean when they answer that. They don't explain these questions very well, have they? Is life on Earth unique? Well, we're not going to know that, are we? When are we going to find out the answer to that question? I'm guessing it's probably not. Is life on Earth? So they mean on other planets as well. We take into account like alien species and things as well, the green men and stuff like that. Can we unify quantum mechanics and gravity? I don't know. Ask Einstein. Ask one of these blimmin' scientists. Well, they get paid for, isn't it? That's what they should be doing. Instead of all these stupid studies on stuff we already know the answers for, they should be focusing on these flipping unanswered questions. And the last one on the list for you to chew on while the next podcast is being made. Can we exploit the weirdness of quantum mechanics? I don't know, what are they? It's just ridiculous, these questions, isn't it? And the reason they're unanswered is because they're bloody stupid and no one knows what they mean. On that revelation, thanks for listening, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed this content, guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below. I'll catch you in the next video.